Worried about your drinking? Reserve your place on today's free Quit Drinking webinar and get a copy of my best-selling book, Alcohol Lied to Me, as a gift just for turning up. www.stopdrinkingexpert.com.
Okay, hey, how you doing? This is Craig back from stopdrinkingexpert.com. Welcome into another episode of the Happy Sober podcast. Today we're talking about CBD, the cannabis oil with the THC removed that's become very popular in the last 5 or 6 years. A lot of people swear by it. A lot of people make big claims about it. Does it help when you're trying to go sober? Does it help with cravings? Is it a substitute for alcohol? That's what we're talking about today. And why? Because I got an email from one of the members of the Stop Drinking Expert program, Steve. Says, "Hi, Craig, hope you're well. I wonder what your thoughts were on CBD drinks. There is one in the UK called Trip. I had a couple last week and found them to be relaxing with no side effects. Is CBD something you've looked at? I'm now 5 months clean and everything in my life has improved after stopping drinking. I'm a full member of your program and active on the Facebook page. All the best, Steve." So, CBD. And as usual, I'm just going to give you my take on it, my opinion on it, because just as in the same way that the course is not designed as a substitute for medical advice, my opinion is never to be taken above that of a medical professional. If I say one thing and your doctor says the polar opposite, go with your doctor every single time, because I am not a doctor and I'm not here to prescribe to you what the kind of established routine of addiction therapy is. What I am here to do is share with you a story of how I went from being desperately out of control with alcohol to getting rid of it and turning my life around, from taking my life from rock bottom to where it is now, in a pretty unconventional way. And I wrote Alcohol Lied to Me, my book, as a kind of summary of what I did, because I was so pleased to arrive at where I did. I thought, I'll just document this and throw it out there, and maybe a few people will find it interesting. I never dreamed that nearly 14 years later, helping people to quit drinking would be pretty much my full-time job. When I wrote Alcohol Lied to Me, it really was just write it, throw it out there, get on with what I was doing. And I was shocked that over the next 3 to 6 months, I would get so many emails from people saying, "You've just described me perfectly. Everything you did with alcohol, I did it. I thought I was the only one that did that stuff. Thank you for sharing your story." So that's how that came about. Now, CBD oil. Look, there's a lot of claims about it. Go online now, type in CBD oil, followed by a affliction, followed by a medical problem, and you will find some article to suggest that CBD oil helps. And you can try it with everything. Type in CBD oil anxiety. I guarantee you'll find a load of articles, a load of websites claiming that CBD helps with anxiety, depression, insomnia, weight loss, weight gain. Everything you can think of, somebody has found a way to connect it to CBD oil. Now, my view on it is very much the same as my view on a lot of other alternative therapies and remedies, like acupuncture, for example. Acupuncture, in my experience, does nothing. It may be that I'm looking at it too cynically, but I've had acupuncture several times for various sporting injuries, and it made absolutely no difference at all. I believe it is 100% placebo effect. That's just my opinion. Then I'm sure there are hundreds of thousands of people out there who swear by it and say it definitely works. All I can tell you is my experience of acupuncture is I don't believe it does a single thing. I think it's garbage. CBD oil is this kind of the same thing. I've tried it. I've tried it for insomnia. I've tried it for relaxation, and it had absolutely zero effect. I noticed absolutely No impact at all. And this is very expensive stuff we're talking about. I think the CBD oil I bought came in a pastel form. And I think it was like £40, 40 UK pounds for like 25 of these pastels. So crazy expensive. But honestly, did absolutely nothing at all. And I've never seen any kind of positive or negative impact of using CBD. So all I can say to you, Steve, is look, if it works for you, if you think it's helping you, if you can feel something happening with it, then why not carry on? In my experience, it made no impact at all. And so I've got to conclude that it is predominantly placebo, because it hasn't progressed really, has it? You know, you hear a lot of people saying, try CBD oil, but it hasn't really made a massive impact. It's not like there are millions of people now going around going, I can't believe I've got no more anxiety since I started CBD. I think, you know, because the world is driven by money, people saw that there is big money to be made with selling marijuana-based products. There is a certain mystique about it. There is a certain law of scarcity around it, in that in most countries around the world, it is illegal and you can't just walk into a shop and buy it. And there are all these kind of stories about how amazing it is and how it's helped people with cancer and all these miracle stories around it. And I think a lot of people have thought, if there's a way to sell this stuff legally, we'll make a fortune here. And that's exactly what I think is happening. I think the CBD oils, you know, with the THC removed, I think it's just a gimmick, to be honest with you. And about 5 years ago, someone who'd successfully completed my stop drinking program met me in, it was New York or Chicago, one of the two. And he pitched a deal to me. He said, look, you've helped me. Now I want to help you. I want to help you make a lot of money, Craig. He said, I run a CBD franchise and I'd like to bring you in on the deal. I said, okay. I said, give me the details. I'll do some research and look at it. And I turned him down in the end because of exactly what I've just said to you. I can't find any evidence personally that it works. And so I wouldn't feel comfortable pushing something that I don't 100% believe in myself. So maybe not the answer you were hoping for, maybe not the answer you were expecting. But look, if it works for you, great. Carry on. I don't believe there's any negative health consequences to using these products. They are very expensive. I think they're a bit fatty and gimmicky, but there's no harm in using them. So if they help you relax, if they help you with cravings, great, knock yourself out. Use them all you want. So that's my take on it. Thanks very much for being with me. Join me next week for another episode of the Happy Sober Podcast. And if you are worried about your drinking, do not be one of the many people, do not be one of the majority that just ums and ahs about this and procrastinates and puts it off. Take action, take responsibility. Nobody is going to fix this problem for you, and it will just keep getting worse. So do something today. Go to the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com, and sign up for today's free quit drinking webinar. Thanks a lot. See you soon.
Worried about your drinking? Reserve your place on today's free quit drinking webinar and get a copy of my best-selling book, Alcohol Lied to Me, as a gift just for turning up. www.stopdrinkingexpert.com